How's it going, you guys? So it's kind of a weird thing that happened. I was reading the Naruto manga, and I went back to look at it again, and unfortunately they took it down. So right now I'm just going off of what I can remember and everything about the chapter. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get into the chapter. But before I do that, let me just go ahead and give you some of the highlights of what happened in this chapter. It was pretty good. So one, of course, we figure that of where Obito actually is, where he is, and what exactly is going on. Two, we find the purpose of Madara's purpose, what Madara wants to do with Obito. Three, we figure out who the guy actually is, that old guy that we speculated that it was Madara, which it is Madara, but they explain actually what that figure is and why he looks like that. And four, we figure out the plan of Madara with Obito. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get into it. This chapter was very good from start to finish. Now, it's probably going to get mixed reviews because some people are going to think that, some of the ideas of Madara are kind of far-fetched, especially for him trying to shape and shift a kid's mindset. But I think it was very genius and a very risky move for Kishimoto, but nonetheless, it was A+. So let's go ahead and do this. Now, when the chapter first starts off, it shows Obito on the bed, screaming like, "Whoa, yo, what's going on? What's going on?" And we figure out that Obito is actually alive and well. Well, not alive and well. He's alive and hurt, and he's in decent condition, so to speak. So Obito actually tries to move around, and he's actually hurt. So he still has those injuries. But here's something that kind of throws me off. Madara says, "Don't move too much because you're in Hoshirama's shell," and I don't understand what that exactly means. Does he have a shell and bones of, of a Hishirama? And I think it absorbs chakra too because Madara said, "Don't move too much or you'll die." So I think it absorbs chakra, and if it absorbs too much chakra, Obito will die. Another thing that we see in this chapter is we learn of the identity of this guy, that figure that we saw. And it is Madara, but supposedly it's a ghost Madara, so it's not really the Madara, it's a ghost figure. And we see the fact that he has some cords attached to him, and he's using this thing called the Mizu or Maizu, and he's absorbing the energy, I guess, to get back to his original form, and he's taking chakra from that. And another thing he says, Madara says, is he says, "I need your eye." And this was kind of the climactic part of the chapter, because after he said this is when Obito started thinking back, when he gave Kakashi the eye, all the friends he had to protect and stuff like this, stuff like that. And, and he was telling, Madara that, and Madara was saying that, well, your reality isn't the real reality in the real world, which kind of brings up something that I remember. It's kind of the same speech that Pain or Nagato gave Naruto, that your reality is corrupted. It's not the exact reality, that it doesn't make any sense. What you're talking about is not how the world works, efficiently. It doesn't work like that. It's far-fetched. You're a little kid, you don't know what you're talking about. And Obito was just really shocked by that, and I think that's how Obito was corrupted, because of the stuff that Madara says, and he keeps repeating these things all the time, very often, to Obito, and this causes Obito to have a change of thought, and for him not to view the world as, so clear-cut, gushy, gluey, nice, and stuff like that. It's not like that. And you can see throughout the chapter just of the struggle that Obito is having between going back into his friends and, staying there. And at the very end of the chapter, I just want to really focus on this end of the chapter, Obito states to, well, he doesn't state to anybody, but he says out loud, he says, "Help me, guys, I'm coming, help me, guys, I need help." But this world that he is in, nobody can hear him, and it's so sad because it's a little kid who's like 10 or 11, and he's crying out for help, and no one can help this guy. No one can help Obito. It's just him and it's Madara. And Madara's going to get what he wants. And I feel like, it kind of goes to the fact of, like, rape victims in a sense. It's not that serious, but I kind of view it like that because when someone is getting raped, they're in a position where they scream, they yell so loud, but no one can hear them. And you have the opposing force, the person that's actually trying to rape the person. They're in control, and no matter what they say or what you do, you can't do anything about it. And this is the same thing that I feel that Obito's in this type of position. He can't do anything. He can scream out as much as he wants, yell as much as he wants, but it's not going to change the fact of you know it's not going to change the fact of the predicament that he's in. He's not going to be able to get out of it. And I think ever since he's in this position and he can't get out, and he's either in the position of where he has two options. He either gives Madara what he wants, which is one, his eye, and two, the power to go out and change the world. And Madara manipulated this within his speech. He stated that, well, here's the thing. There is no peace. There are no friends. There are nothing. You have to destroy something to create peace. There is no peace with war. That's the same thing that's been reiterated and perseverated on by Nagato. And it's just the same endless cycle, using someone for the greater cause of corrupting the world. And it's just so sad how people are just in the Naruto series are just being used like that. And I can see from this chapter it's going to be very hard for Kakashi to break this whole persona, or I guess you can say this whole barrier that Obito has put up about the real world, because you have to understand these are things that Madara has been putting or instilling inside Obito since he was very young, and he's like I don't know how exactly old he is now. He's probably like 24, maybe even in his 30s. So Obito is all that stuff that he's been telling him for years. It's been instilled in his mind, and it's two things. Obito's doing it not only for Madara, but for the sake of his friends, because he feels probably deep down inside of him that Kakashi is not maybe strong enough to defeat Madara. He doesn't want to see his friends hurt, so it could be an ulterior motive too that Obito has for doing this as well. But I don't think I don't think it's as much of Rin for Rin. I think it's more of a control factor that Madara has used for Obito. And I just think it's going to be something that we're just going to have to see it develop, because we haven't even this is like the climactic part at the very end. Like I said, the very end will shock you guys, but this is just going to be crazy. I really want to see what happens with this. So yeah, this is my review of Naruto manga chapter 602. I definitely want you guys to make a video response so I can see you guys or hear you guys' thoughts and opinions. Make sure to comment the video, rate the video, share it with everybody so everybody can see this chapter review. And with that being said, guys, I'm going to go ahead and sign out of here. I really enjoyed this chapter. Please, guys, show your support, and I'll check you guys later. Peace.